Here's another one, medium stability police force. Ooh, look at that. This is for a bigger city. This is the federal police commander over your police department. Pentagon openly taking over your police departments. I mean, that is worse than Red China. Red China doesn't even allow that. What do you think they're being set up for? It happens everywhere. When this is set up, they're going to take your farms and ranches. They're going to take your children. They're going to take everything you got. And they always do it by, well, you got this environmental fee on your property. You can't pay it, Bob. And most people, all right, I'll give you the property. And all right. But if you hold up, they're just going to call up the police force, and they're going to come by and murder your butt. You pay for the military. They're there to attack the enemy, and that enemy's you. You read the MIAC report. You read the Homeland Security report. I got those reports since the late 90s, and nobody listened to me. Now when I cover them, they get national attention. Your military isn't your military. I've talked to so much family in the Army. I got a lot of family in the Army, and I talk to other people, and they are all mad. I mean, I know people that are in supply and logistics and people that are in over repair, and they're all been training for 3 years for riot control domestically. Long before they dropped the hammer on the banking situation, it's been reported by Bloomberg and Squibbs Howard News Service that it was all staged, all designed, and they're going to keep killing the economy, and they're going to stage riots, and you're going to beg to have the Army on the streets, and they'll restore order, and then they'll never leave. And it'll just be, where'd Bob go? Bob wouldn't leave his house. They sent a robot in and killed him. Shh, don't let... And there'll be like a 12-year-old walking by with their armband, literally giving them armbands with the Explorer Scouts now. They'll be like, shh. That's already happening. Adults are already... Just, oh, man, the worst part's going to be the 12, 13, 14-year-old punks on power trips. I mean, it's going to be really hard getting bossed around by them. But that's what America is. We are the ultimate rotten cow being fed on by carrion turkeys. That's what they call the buzzards around here, turkey buzzard. I just can't believe our country's this easy to rob. I mean, this is a completely criminal, illegal, unconstitutional operation. Has nothing to do with the stupid Al-Qaeda boogeyman you were all taught to fear. It's for you and your guns in your house by a bunch of criminals. We really are a nation of just cowards. The cops are going to go along. The military's going to go along. The general public's going to go along. Obama will get a bunch of it set up. Then a Republican will come in. He'll continue it. Suddenly Republicans will love the police state. Democrats didn't like war. Now they love it. War is peace. Oh, give him a peace prize. We have to admit how pathetic we are. You know, every few years I get to pigging out and drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes, and I've got to finally admit to myself, after a month or two of it, when I gained 20 pounds doing it, that this may feel good, buddy, but you got to stop it. You can't go eat big ribeye steaks and drink a bottle of whiskey. The point is, and I've got to realize it's bad and not do it. And I fall back sometimes, but I quit. I've gone 5, 6 years before without drinking or smoking or eating like a pig. But the point is that when I start working too much, it's a crutch I fall back on. It's a big anxiety relief. You can be worried about the world and worried about what you're doing and go in and drink a couple beers and eat a big steak. You're not worried about it anymore. I'm pretty pathetic. And when I start getting pathetic, I've got to admit I'm pathetic. You as a country have to do that too, folks. I mean, we have to admit we are a steaming pile of horse poo. I mean, we really are a joke. By the way, I've been corrected. For a decade, I've been saying 50 million abortions. Of course, it's 60 million now. When you pull up number of abortions in U.S., latest numbers, I think it's 60 mil, but I want to be precise about that. I mean, look, if we're so lazy that we kill our own babies, I mean, even if you're for birth control, don't be lazy. Get regular birth control. Don't go in and have dangerous procedures for yourself and kill a kid because you were too lazy, and now you don't want to raise the kid because television told you kids are horrible when you're not living till you got children. Heaven sounds like living on some deserted jungle tropical island with like 50 children. Let me tell you, all you stupid yuppies and all you people that never had kids, you think you're all selfish and your life's all about you. You're not happy. Or you may think you're happy. You don't know how good it is having children. You don't know how magic they are and how much you understand about humanity once you have them. And sure, in modern society, they're a pain in the butt. And they get programmed by the society to act up. And they're rebellious. They're little people. But that's part of life. You're meant to be part of the life cycle. Just like you see butterflies mating. I mean, you're meant to live on this planet, hurtling through space. You're meant to have children. You're meant to love and struggle and have a life. And you've been taught that death is good and life is bad. And so now they think you're so weak-minded, so shallow, so open to suggestion that they can write articles in Newsweek and Time magazine saying, let's just kill old people. Hey, yuppies, you'll have more money if we start whacking grandma. And the yuppies are like, hell yeah, kill old people. Their life's not worth anything. The bioethics board said so. And then pretty soon it's, hey, let's just kill this kid. They're a little bit handicapped. Hey, let's have a law that if a kid's got any genetic problems or the government says they've got a genetic problem, too aggressive, that you can't have kids. Let's go ahead and have Chinese-style net censorship in Australia and the U.S. Both governments now proposing it. Australia's going ahead with it. What's wrong with having secret prisons? Hell, what's wrong with torture? Now, that Hitler guy, he was bad when he did it, but when we do it, man, it's going to be mom and apple pie. It's going to be really great. Okay, let's rush through some calls, and then I do want to get into a whole area of news we haven't covered yet. Ash in Texas, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how are you doing?
Good.
Hey, and thanks for taking my call. Appreciate everything you're doing. I'm up here in Dallas, and, these chemtrails up here, I don't know what it's like in Austin, but I'm sure it's the same. It's just unbelievable daily, how they're just dosing us with tic-tac-toe boards every day in Dallas. Is that the same thing down in Austin?
Yeah, all the chemtrail deniers really have a problem because our scientists came out for decades, since it started in the mid-'90s, and said this is barium salts, aluminum dioxide. It appears to be a weather modification program, but it also has toxic effects on all life, especially mammals. And then John P. Holdren came out and said, headline in his first press conference, first thing he talked about was, we've been secretly terraforming the earth to save you from global warming, and we're now going to go from a test, which is giant. It's like the Death Star blowing up Alderaan was just a test. I keep going back to Star Wars analogies. They never end. It's like Chuck Norris facts. I mean, can you imagine what the non-test is? In fact, people won't believe that. Google John P. Holdren, geoengineering, calls for geoengineering. He gave an AP press conference at AP headquarters in D.C. And so, yes, we have sent out researchers. We have shot chemtrail info. We are incorporating that into the next film. It's just there's so much. They've now declassified it. But it's kind of like they declassify global government, admit they're setting it up, but still the public doesn't know it exists. I don't know how to explain that. It's like telling children Santa Claus exists, they believe it, but then you tell them that a Mack truck in the highway may kill them, they don't believe it. It's like the general public believes in fairy tales that polar bears can't swim and that the sun doesn't heat the earth, but then they'll believe baloney, but they won't believe the truth.
Yeah. The other day, Alex, they were spraying heavy duty, and I called the sheriff's department